I can get you out of here.
Do you have any idea what it took to get in here?
Not as far as we can go.
Come with me now. There's still a few million miles left to go. It's over. Is that the only way you can succeed, is to see me fail?
Okay, good morning, everybody. What a naturally perfect spot to stop the music. I hope you're all doing well today. As I jokingly put in the top, it's Tuesday. You know what that means, and it actually means nothing. It just means it's another day. It's another day of pandemic education here in Clarington Central's virtual campus, I guess. So we're going to go over a couple of quick things today. Going to give you some reminders about what is coming tomorrow in case you are looking to get ahead on some work if you feel like your to-do list is a bit on the short side. But overall, I'm fully expecting people to be busy today. I'm fully expecting to see people in our meet at 2 o'clock. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you if you have any questions, concerns, etc. I'm obviously trying my best to stay on top of marking and sending feedback. The survival guide is not due until Friday, and so if people are rushing through it or they're getting through it fairly quickly, I'm looking for opportunities to make it even better. So don't be surprised if I send it back to you and saying like, hey, you got time to work on this. Let's do this. Let's do that. So let's take a look in the classroom and see what's going on today. All right, so in the classroom, down in yesterday's work, obviously you should still be looking through the older work at the bottom if there's anything that you haven't finished up. Okay, in yesterday's work, we've got crab journal number 10. I still have 7 people who have not submitted this yet. Okay, I do think that one of those 7 people is probably our peer tutor who isn't expected to do it. So in reality, it's probably 6 people that haven't done it. Please, please, please double check to make sure that this is finished. And when you're doing your journal responses, remember, not only am I hoping that you'll be able to do more than one of the questions, but that you'll also make sure to look up the definitions of these words. Okay? So that is super important. Okay? Also, the good communication piece, there's still 5 people that haven't responded to a one question ask after watching the video. What is your biggest learning moment? Okay? So please make sure to take care of that. Okay, so for today's work, I've left the ISUs at the top just in case there's some of you that haven't finished up either submitting your planning sheet or submitting your brochure. Again, brochure, if you're sending me a PowerPoint, sending me a poster board or whatever it is, a visual representation of the asks of the assignment is all I need. Okay, and please make sure to get that in ASAP because it was due on May the 7th. Okay, creating a wilderness survival guide. Okay. Obviously, there's still a fair number of people that are working on it. I know it still says 10 assigned, 2 turned in, but there's still, people that I'm sort of bouncing it back and forth with. Okay. So you have your different sections here. Okay. And each one is expected to be full sentences with the exception of number 3, which is a list. Okay. So step number 1. Research and choose the environment when you will have to survive. Okay, when it's asking you to do research, that means that there's an expectation that you're sharing the link of the material that you're using, but also that your information about that location, about that environment, will be more than just simply stating where it is. What are some of the characteristics or what are some of the qualities of living or being forced to survive in a desert, in a jungle, in the cold, etc. Step number 2, describe the worst case scenario of this environment, 2 to 3 sentences in length. Step number 3, list the items needed to survive in this environment. Explain how each of these items could be used. Maximum 5. Obviously, a few have asked, could I do more than 5? Yeah, you can do more than 5, but I'm trying to sort of give you a guideline to sort of keep it around 5, unless you're really excited by this assignment and you want to do 7, 8, or 9, okay? But just double check with me first. And then find a suitable container or kit to hold these items. Explain how it is suitable. It says overall, a minimum of 15 sentences divided into sections is how long it should be. I am going to be sending you feedback saying things like, hey, you've got time, find some pictures, make it organized better, add some headings, use bold, so on and so forth. Trying to teach you some of the fundamentals of creating a document that is aesthetically pleasing, okay? So don't be surprised if it keeps bouncing back and forth for little steps to continue to improve it, okay? Because overall, we've got time to do it, so why not do it, okay? So for Crab Journal number 11, which came out today, you have 3 questions. Again, the expectation is for you to attempt more than one, and then definitions to look up. So question number 1, why does Crab consider Mary to be such a good teacher? What has he learned from her? Question number 2, what realization does Crab come to about his loneliness? Have you ever felt totally isolated or alone in a crowd the way Crab did? Explain your response. Why does Crab have a sense of pride at the end of the journal entry? When have you felt a similar sense of accomplishment? And then you've got 2 words here to look up. Okay? So again, give that your best shot. And then we end up in the learning style quiz and reflection. This is the part where I had noted yesterday. I said, please don't feel like you need to rush into this until you have a chance to hear from me. Okay, so learning style quiz. Okay, so as you can see, each one of these sections is labeled with a number. Okay, so you have different questions here or statements, and you are going to put an X beside the ones that apply to you. So, I enjoy telling stories and jokes. I have a good memory for trivia. I enjoy word games. I read books just for fun, so on and so forth. I'm not going to read through all of them. Okay, if you are finding words that you have trouble with, then you need to look them up. Okay, you could also put any of this into your Read Aloud software that Google provides, and hopefully, if there are barriers in that way, you'll be able to figure it out through the accommodations that you have. Or if there's a statement that you really would like me to explain to you or try to articulate to you in a different way, copy it, send it in an Edsby message to myself or to Mackenzie or to Jen. One of us will be able to help you break it down into a more understandable pieces. So for example, number 5 has a lot to do with music. Number 6 has a lot to do with social activities and so on. And number 7 is about staying by yourself. And number 8 is about being outside and so on. Okay? So once you have completed this, count up the number of X's in each section and send me a list that basically says 1 equals 3 answers, 2 equals 4 answers, 3 equals so on. Okay? If you've hit submit and you haven't sent it to me in that way, I will respond to you and say, could you please put it in this way? Okay? So that's the learning styles quiz. Once you've completed the learning styles quiz, okay, and you've sent me the response, these, so it says, learning skills, what have you learned? Okay, so match the learning styles to their definitions by recording the correct number in the space provided. Okay, so you got verbal linguistic, logical mathematical, visual spatial, bodily kinesthetic, musical, naturalist, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. Okay? So, what is your personal learning style? Oh, I have obviously forgotten to give you guys one clear step here. Okay? So, I will add that to the quiz, like a guide as to what numbers equal what, which one. Okay? In 2 to 3 sentences, explain whether or not you feel this description matches your learning experience. Give 2 types of assignments or school projects you do well on. Why is it important to set goals? Who in your life helps you the most to reach your goals? In 5 years, what do you think you will be doing? What things make you happy? And describe yourself as a student. Okay? So, number 9 is not required. Okay? Okay, this is an optional assignment. Number 9 is optional. So let me just mark down here just so it's very clear. Question number 9 is optional. Okay? So that you can see that it's optional. Okay? So the one thing that I have clearly neglected to do, and I apologize for that, is I actually haven't listed off which one of these is, hold on. Each one of these, what it actually applies to. So I will, once I get off stream, I will code this and I will put it into the stream of the course, and I've also put it on the assignment to say that, you know, number 1 is bodily kinesthetic, or number 2 is whatever, right? So number 4 is obviously bodily kinesthetic. This is bodily kinesthetic right here. And number 5 is musical, number 8 is naturalist, and so on. So I will make sure to put a code a breakdown right away so that everybody can have a clear understanding of which is what, so that you can actually answer this question properly. Okay? Because number 2, what is your personal learning style, will be whichever answer got the most yes responses in the quiz. Okay? So, other than the fact that I didn't do a very good job. Oh, hey, Kyle. Yeah, you just need to send me the total, but I will make sure that everybody gets a cheat sheet. So my apologies. I've obviously missed a step that I needed to include on the course. So I will fix that as soon as I get off stream. Okay? So just send along your responses, and we can work on it together. Obviously, if there's any little snafus, we will get those sorted out before before anything goes into the grade book and all that sort of stuff. So just so that we're totally clear, I do need to submit report cards for this course tomorrow. Okay? So if you have any last second work to hand in from the older stuff, today would be an excellent day to pick away at it. Okay? I am absolutely 100% going to be taking pity on those people who have had a couple of bumps along the way in the first like week or so. Okay? I'm not going to cause, people's marks to plummet or anything like that. So if you're attending course regularly, you're interacting, you're reaching out to people for help, your mark is not going to be a failing mark. Guarantee it's not. Okay? Those people who have been knocking it out of the park, your marks are going to be sky high because you deserve it. But just know that there's no gotcha moment here. There's no punishment through marking or anything like that going on. Okay, so everybody here has the great opportunity to get their marks exactly where they need to go. But obviously, if you are missing a few things or still sort of getting yourself organized, I can't throw an 85 on your report card as much as I'd love to. Okay, it's going to be a passing mark that is sort of reflective of your overall achievement, rather than those people who have been handing in lots of stuff and really really pushing and getting everything in. Those people's marks are obviously going to be reflective of all of the goodness that has been going on. Okay, but everybody's got lots to be proud of. Everybody's got lots to be content with, I feel. And even those people who had a few bumps along the way, your trajectory is now on an upward climb. So be proud of yourself for that. Okay? So, not seeing any other questions at the moment. I'm just going to stay on stream while I fix the learning styles quiz so that everybody has an answer key. So you guys can watch me fix it if you want. But if you would rather get to work and keep working on things, please feel free to do so. Okay. So chat will stay open. Jen or Mackenzie will stay in the chat and respond to you if you have any messages while I'm not looking. But overall, we'll be getting back together at 2 o'clock. So keep on getting the good work in, okay? Okay, so there is the here's the list. Okay, so each section has got a title, and that is the title right there. Okay, just so that everybody knows what it is. Okay, so we'll hit save on that. Okay, so once you have figured out which one of these you belong to, okay, that would be your answer for number 2 down here. Okay, and you can also match it to the definition right here. Okay, so again, this will be very much mostly a completion mark, and you obviously will go back and forth, and we'll talk about in the end, based on what this is telling you about yourself, to give you some words so that you can advocate in your other classes around like, hey, when I do this test, I realize that I'm much more of a bodily kinesthetic learner. Therefore, I really feel as if, it would be best if I could walk around the class a little bit. Is it something where I can get like something that I can fidget with my feet? Is it something that I can have something in the class to fiddle with my fingers because it helps me think? So on and so forth. Okay. So I am getting, hopefully getting out of this for you guys is some words around how to self-advocate and some words about around how to ask for help to guide your learning in certain ways. Because obviously, if you're a bodily kinesthetic learner, online learning is like worst case scenario in many ways, right? Because you're stuck looking at a screen, sitting in a chair, and so on. I'm hoping that if you're somebody who learns through movement, that if you feel like you need to move or you feel like there's something that you can do to help yourself self-regulate a little bit, you can do that in whatever space that you're in. Okay? So, yes, so I'll bring up an example, Dylan, and we'll look it over right now, okay? So, I'm just going to open this with Google Docs just so that I can look at it, okay? So, for example, um, if I say, for example, I enjoy telling stories and jokes, I can go like and put an X like that, okay? But if I don't have a good memory for trivia, which I actually kind of don't, then I wouldn't put an X. Okay? So once I figured out all the X's in section number 1 down here, I would go down to the very bottom here and I would count how many X's I have in number 1. And if I had 4, I'd put a 4. Okay? Then take this whole section, copy it, send it to me on an Edsby message. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, any other questions about this? Yeah, same with 2, same with 3, same with 4, until you've done all 8, and then you'll be able to look at the answer key and figure out which category you fall in. Okay? And again, if there's any bumps along the way, Dylan, you and I can work it out together. All right, any other questions about the work for today? We will go over the work to come for tomorrow at the 2 o'clock. Okay. So seeing none, just for fun, since you rarely get to actually see it, I'm just going to close my window capture. So you can actually see what the graphic is behind me. Yes, please. Yes, please, Dylan. Please do that. Yep, and then I will send you a message and I'll let you know what it all means. Okay? Okay. Any other questions? All right, if there's no other questions, then I will wrap the stream up and I will reappear at 2 o'clock. But obviously, put comments or send me messages and we'll work through the learning skills stuff together in a smaller setting. Okay? Otherwise, we'll see you this afternoon. See you later. You send it in a private message or you can put it on a comment inside the Google Classroom, like on your assignment. I can see it there too. Whichever you prefer. Okay, I'm going to wrap the stream up, so we'll talk to you this afternoon at 2 o'clock.